from a menacing force. Sometime around July of last year, my friend Marie took me to a golf club to meet up with other people of that subculture. Most of them were friendly, but then I met another girl. I can't remember her name, but all I can remember was her pale skin and sunglasses. She invited me to her house some days later. We talked for a while drinking, but then I felt dizzy and got unconscious. I woke up, ending up on a ritual with more people. I was bound on a stone table, all naked, and I see the same girl, this time without the glasses, revealing her blank eyes. I knew I was in trouble. Am I about to get killed? No. Instead, she spoke in some mystic language, and I started to feel something. That's how I ended up that way. When I get really angry, I get stronger, faster, more aggressive, to the point that I can feel almost unstoppable. Unless it's electricity, cold water, or calming myself, my boiling rage knows no bounds. And that's why you should never go to a stranger's house. That sounds fucking stupid. Do you remember that time? Pussy.
I am the god of hellfire, and I bring you...
Hey, this isn't agony. Where's my sexy demons? It's software, not ID software. Gotta start with Softdisk, where programmers Tom Hall, the unrelated Carmax, and John Romero met each other. John C. and Tom made a prototype of Mario 3 for the PC, only with Romero's dangerous Dave sprites. Keep in mind that PCs at the time couldn't handle scrolling very well compared to game consoles, and with that potential and despite Nintendo turning it down, the four created Commander Key in Invasion of the 40Cons, released as shareware by Apogee, and soon after, the company was founded in early 1991. Their early games thrive in innovation and ambition like Hover Tank 3D, Catacomb 3D, and the well-known Wolfenstein 3D. While they are not actually 3D, and despite Wolf 3D being very different from the earlier games of that series, these were groundbreaking, using raycasting, optimization, and clever programming to run on decent hardware in 1992. You mean I can play this game on my shitty 286 PC? Sign me up! It was a success, with 100,000 registered shareware copies sold by the end of 1993, with an expansion pack Spirit Destiny released that time. Speaking of 1993, that's when everything changes. Doom is considered as the daddy of first-person shooters, with Wolf 3D as the granddaddy. Well, they're not wrong. It was self-published this time in December 1993, although retail copies were distributed by GT Interactive. It was a major success, but it wasn't without controversy. It was one of the games sort of brought to the case by the US government about violent video games, which led to the creation of ESRB, the others being Mortal Kombat, Night Trap, and Lethal Enforcers. Basically, misunderstood parents and white political boomers got pissed that video game violence exists. I get Mortal Kombat, but Night Trap? The example they've shown was that scene in the bathroom where the bad guys killed this blonde girl, and they thought you play as the baddies. Man, fuck Lieberman, and I'm a goddamn lefty! You brought Jack Thompson on your side, fuck off! The PC version is the best way to play, even better when using a source port like GZ Doom, which I use very often, and Shulker Doom, which I'll be using for this review. But it was also ported to consoles, which varies in quality. The Jaguar version is one of the best, being developed in-house, but it lacks the soundtrack. The 3DO version, while depressingly amazing for being coded by just one trans woman in 10 weeks, well, before she transitioned later on, it was quite abysmal, being shipped incomplete, but at least the soundtrack kicks ass. The Super Nintendo version is quite blurry and choppy, but the 32 export is nice, despite looking muddy, having some maps removed, and the less said about the music the better. The GP output was quite surprising despite the censorship, and the PS1 version is pretty sinister, coupled with simulated color lighting, additional maps from Doom 2, and a new atmospheric soundtrack. Although the same cannot be said about the Saturn port. Jesus. I see swimming! I see swimming! Try again! Then of course you have the ones on later systems, including Doom 3 BFG Edition, and also the unofficial ports for other devices, including a car stat nav. I think. I'm not sure, I get the feeling this is fake. Okay, enough fucking around, let's play this game. I'm more used to mouse lock and jumping the source ports provide, but for authenticity, I'll disable them entirely. I'll be playing the Ultimate Doom, and of course I'll cover thy flesh consumed. What do you think I won't? First map, very memorable, and I managed to finish it without killing anyone. That's nice. The controls are rather simple to learn, at least a modern way. In the case of Vanilla Doom, kind of. I mapped the movement keys and the strafe keys to the WASD, and used the mouse to turn left and right, but I kept the spacebar as a use key and shifted to sprint, like you do. At least it's better than keyboard only, you know, arrow keys, left and right to turn, control to shoot. Yeesh. Still, there are some quirks in it. For instance, running forward in strafing makes you go faster than just running, which can be useful for some situations, yet can break the game, making it easier. You think you can jump over this ledge, but you can't. They didn't program it to have a jump function, unless you're playing with the source ports. But running is definitely will do the trick. So enemies are hell spawns and possessed soldiers taking over the Mars's moons because someone was doing a dimension teleporter and then shit went down the drain or something. You definitely shouldn't care. As John Carmack once famously said in a phone call with Tom Hall, "Storing the game is like storing a poor movie. It's expected to be there, but it's not that important." Well, that sounds fucking stupid. You're fired. And then he joined the Left Apogee, co-founded Iron Storm with Romero, and produced Anachronox and Deus Ex, but that's beside the point. I'm surprised by how small the number of unique enemies are. Hell, I forgot that this game doesn't have the Hell Knights. There's the good old hit-scanning zombies that shoot you from pistol welding to shotgun snipers, which are quite annoying. Wait until Dim 2. Then you have the imps, which throw fireballs at you or claw you when you get close. The pink demons in its transparent variants eat you alive and they're quite tough, but at least 2 or 3 shotgun blasts is enough to kill them. That's most of the enemies you encountered in episode 1. For gunplay, as this is actually a 2.5D game and you can't look up or down, if you want to shoot ones higher up, the game does that for you. You always start with a pistol, but not for long, you'll find a shotgun in a secret room, unless you're playing in Ultraviolence, where you get them by killing your shotgun in your left room at the starting area. And he's your best friend, right until Doom 2 comes in. It deals such damage towards multiple enemies and can kill some with one shot. Too bad that ammo for it can be scarce on the harder difficulties. Then you have the chain gun, a much better alternative to the pistol, as it shares bullets with it and shoots rapidly. But then there's the rocket launcher, which can chip enemies with ease, although ammo for it is much more scarce than the shells in this episode, and the splash damage can make you its bitch. You also have the good old chainsaw, the great communicator, and I must reference the Doom coming to a bare minimum, but I guess I'm failing at that. This one doesn't run out of juice, so hold the fire button and get closer to the enemies and probably get yourself killed. Knee deeper than that, it's quite a great episode. Mostly created by John Romero, it is quite easy to beat with great looking levels and good difficulty curve. This is a really big step up for the mazy semi-levels from Wolf 3D. Height differences, diagonal rooms, elevators, it's freaking amazing! There are times I can't be shit, like the dark rooms. I can barely see anything and I have to rely on the auto map or finding those light goggles. They're not here in this episode, or at least I didn't find them. With a more advanced level geometry comes traps in the form of crushers, slime, and whatever that's supposed to be. They hurt you, but I don't know what they're supposed to be. But I'm getting ahead of myself. Episode 1 ends with a battle with 2 Hell Barons. They're quite the bullet sponges, much like some enemies. Otherwise, just fire rockets at them, they're quite easy to beat with it. And then you're killed and sent to Damus. That's quite a downer. Shores of Hell introduces the annoying Lost Souls and the floating Kako demons. Man, these little fuckers don't fuck around. 2 shotgun blasts is quite enough, but it is a lot. Looks can be deceiving. The Kako demons aren't as annoying unless you're low on ammo or start with a pistol after you died in the halls of the damned. That level sucks, seriously, that slow crusher can just fuck off. And after they do being lost in the dark maze is just... so fucking annoying. Yeah, after episode 1, the game goes downhill from there. It's a test of patience when it comes to combat. And also some levels suck, like the episode's secret level, the Fortress of Mystery. It's nothing more than just 2 big rooms filled with barons and Kako demons, and it's just lame, complete with a stupid exit where you open doors to reveal the skull keys and... I don't like the 4th level of the episode, Diamond Slab, simply because of the exit. To raise the floor to the door, you must go down the pool and get into this specific teleporter. Even then, some imps show up to kill you. How was I supposed to know that? I was almost dead! Not only do levels feel mazy, most of them have keys where you have to get them to open marked doors. So you better backtrack your way out to find that door to progress, and it's just boring sometimes when you go back to the room you've been and there isn't any enemies in your path. At least they're color coded, I'll give them that, unlike that certain FPS game that I might review this Halloween season. This episode also introduces the Plasma Rifle, which is a godsend, and also the Berserker, which can make your fists really powerful until you finish the level. That comic lied to me! It doesn't fade away after 1 minute or 2. Whoever wrote this shit is a hack fraud, and I really need to stop referencing Red Letter Media for a while. The last level of episode 2 is a memorable one. You up against the cyber demon. Here's a very strategic way to kill him. Shoot it until he dies, while also striving to avoid the rockets. I'm blind! And after defeating him, the area floats, revealing hell underneath. So you rappel down, yet you start with a pistol for some reason. Okay. Hell. My favorite holiday spot! She may have to kill this Kagadin with a pistol. If you die in a level, you start the level with just your pea shooter, and it's quite annoying. It's been carried over from Wolf 3D, it has been carried over to Doom 2 and those build engine games like Duke Nukem 3D. Since I'm more used to cheesy Doom auto saving after a level and, well, anything after Half-Life, playing vanilla and dying the first time made me go, where the fuck are my weapons? These levels were mostly made by Sandy Peterson, and they seem to get some flack. I know, right? Some sections remind me of Wolf 3D. Help me! And the second level was quite unique, with the layout being hand-shaped, but fuck me is it tight. To be fair though, they had like 10 weeks before releasing the game, after replacing Tom Holland with him, so Mount Terrabus is fine though. Except for this part. I got trapped there and didn't know where to leave, and by sheer luck I managed to find the teleporter. God damn. This episode introduces the mother of all gaming super weapons, the BFG 9000. It shares them with the plasma rifle as it uses 40 cells, and it's basically a screen killer for weak enemies. Uses it when there's lows and enemies in your path. I forgot about the power-ups. I mentioned the light goggles and the berserker, but there's also the blue soul spheres, which gives you 100 health, even if you're full, and you can go up to 200%. Partial invisibility does what it says on the tin, but it can fuck up your muscle memory as the enemies can shoot projectiles at random. You have the backpack, which increases how much ammo you can reserve, and the invulnerability ball, which, well, I am the god of— oh wait, I've already done that joke in the intro. It goes on for 3 seconds, but it's very satisfying. Alright, this. The confrontation with the spider mastermind, and I got all stacked up with cells, and I killed him. Just like that. Not even 3 seconds in. What a fucking joke. I bet I get a happy ending after this. Ah, isn't that cute? I need an adult! You think that's over? Nope! In 1995, id and GT Interactive released the Ultimate Doom in retail stores, and it comes packed with a new episode made by John Romero, American McGee, who later made the Alice games, and 2 fan mappers promoted to the team. I don't like where this is going. Are you alright? Do I look like I'm alright to you? I played the whole trilogy in Hurt Me Plenty, which isn't much, but it can still make it a challenge. The 4th episode? No, fuck that. I have to play it on the easiest difficulty because I'm that much of a baby or something. But even then, it's quite hard. Especially being ganged up by specters loads at times. Level 3 isn't that bad, it's quite a briefer level. But then you have Against the Wickedly, the 6th level. This is a little tight maze at the beginning, somehow I got lost there. Next you have this spot, which is quite annoying at first. How am I supposed to get out of here? Guess I'll die then. What you're supposed to do is activate the middle part of the area, as it serves as a lift. How was I supposed to know that? It uses the textures plastered onto these, and they activate fuck all! This episode is bullshit! Where are my glasses? I better be doing something really disgusting to the play thy flesh consumed. Did I get it right? Hello? It was at this moment I had to save just in case, because fuck me starting with a pistol. But somehow I managed to glitch the game by making the cyber demon not attack you after loading. So I went there, grabbed the god ball, killed them, and left. I don't like the 7th level, where there are unmarked doors. How was I so— never mind. On to the Crew is a better last level than this, because there's a pre-boss section, and it's quite good. Shit about the boss, which is just another spider demon again. So you finish the game, and it reveals that the beheaded rabbit was your pet Daisy, and now you must avenge in the sequel, which was released a year prior to this. Welp, I finished Doom. I may not have found all the secret levels and finished the 4th episode on the easiest difficulty, but still, I made it! For presentation, I'd rather be playing GZ Doom by now. Look at this pixelated mess. I know I'm playing Chocolate Doom for accuracy, but it's just abysmal at high res full screen. Other than that, it's cool. Such amazing attention to detail at the 4th episode even. I love how some of the sprites are actually digitized images, like the Cyber Demon and the BFG 9000. It's just the side of the toy gun, mirrored and edited a bit. It's quite awesome. I seem to like this whole demonic aesthetic a lot. It's no big surprise that I'm one of the devil's servants, bringing damnation upon this land. I mean, it's no shock that I look gothic here. I wish I looked this gothic in real life. I especially love Doomguy's face. It's quite charming, although I really like it more when he's at 59 to 40% health. I just like suffering. For audio, it's glamorous. Sure, it's low quality stock sounds, but it's just so memorable, and you think they're made for this game in mind. Music being MIDI songs still kick-ass, no matter how stupid the guitar sounds are. It's a matter of sound fuzz, you know. Most of the songs, especially the rocky ones, are just audio-friendly versions of metal songs from Pantera, Metallica, AC/DC, and all that. I wish I could make a comparison, but YouTube, you know. So that was Doom, man. How is this not a Christian game? All you do here is kill demons and possess humans in hell. How does this endorse Satanism? Fucking idiots, missing all the action. Doom is a great game. Don't let the dated looks fool you, but I recommend using GZ Doom Zentronum to play it at high resolutions. It's a fun game that might get downhill on the later levels. It left a great legacy, not only inspiring a sequel, a third game, and a fantastic reboot, but also a movie. But also opened the floodgates for other shooters, albeit most of them having that Wolf 3D kind of gameplay. Not only that, but Doom is also quite popular for modding and multiplayer where games play using Dwango or Zentronum later on. To this day, it still gets great love from the community, not only with custom maps, but also gameplay mods like Realism, The Golden Souls, Jump Maze, Z-Blood, Master the Puppets, and something called Brutal Doom, I can't remember. But I'll never forget what Doom brought to gaming as a whole, for the better and for the worse. Kind of. Must have scared the bejesus out of her. Hope I don't get kicked out once she arrives. There you go, walking perhaps.
Oh, shut up.
Get in, we'll talk at the diner. So, you must be Lily.
Yep, I know you. You're that bitch on TV.
Hang in there, Miss Runningal. I haven't even properly introduced myself. I'm Sarah Houston, former detective for the Synopsis Police and currently a local game show host. So this was your first time in prison, huh?
Yeah, I always conceal my powers in public.
Glad to see that you served your sentence.
It wasn't fucking easy. Every time I levitate even the smallest things, I get electrocuted, and it made me nervous when I got into a heated situation. Gosh!
Jesus, and I thought Sassy was the dramatic one. No need to worry, honey. I'm here to tell you something. I have one simple request for you to do.